Welcome back to the last part of what female Deku was in Inkling. Quick recap. In the last part, the Hero Safety Commission president was killed. The commander of Fred, of the Special Task Force Division for Izumi's squad, was injured. Fred was taken underground. Wolf had murdered the Hero Safety Commission president and burned the body of the booth. Mustard currently has Izumi in his grasp, trying to evacuate with her, given to orders by the LOV. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it. We go to the front lines where they're quickly evacuating everyone from the stadium, while several security guards and all that, and the heroes have joined in the fight against the Nomu. Wolf finally arrives at the scene, as then suddenly the booth that the Hero Safety Commission was in exploded, catching the heroes off guard. As they look back, the Hero Safety Commission president, as Hawks tries to make his way over there, as the council member with wings, I believe I called him Pelican or something, it's been a while, comes in and stops him. There's no use, he's already dead. We need to focus on the fight. As a flying Nomu tries to attack Hawks in the back, as he uses his claws to kill the Nomu, saving Hawks from being killed by the Nomu. We need to focus on all these Nomu. They're just popping up everywhere. We also need to keep them away from the civilian evacuation. We're trying to get all the participants and all the audience out. While the soldiers are currently doing a full-on sweep of the lower floors, we go to Mustard and Izumi, who are currently hanging upstairs trying to get to the roof, the top of the stadium. Izumi is obviously not in a very good condition. You can tell by her appearance. She's tired, she's exhausted, and she doesn't look well in the slightest. Every hour that passes, her condition's getting worse. I can't have her die before we get to the evac spot. As he's trying to make it quickly as possible, while the heroes and all that are dealing with Nomu left and right. Council members are currently coordinating, trying to pinpoint and stop the Nomu's advances, as several villains had also popped into the arena, which they had to fight. Well, we finally get down to the commander that tried to rescue Izumi but got injured, as the medical team is treating to his wounds. Oh, it's good you're alive. You're one of the heaviest hitters on the force. We can't have you dying here. Where's Izumi? He asks. We don't know. Where's Fred? We lost connection with him a short while ago. He better not die on me. He's the only member left of my squad. He's not gonna die just like that. As we go to Fred, who's currently fighting underground where the cave has collapsed, and he's fighting with this huge mole Nomu with his bare fists. You're gonna be my ticket up to the top. As he starts beating down on the Nomu with all he's got, getting on its back, it tries to dig under as he's hitting the ceiling. As he's just right on top of it, his back is hitting against the wall. No, you're trying to take me down? As he grips it by the neck and forces it upward as it makes its way up to the top. We're going up. As it just burrows up into the ground until it pops out of the middle of the stadium, shocking everyone seeing this huge mole creature, and Fred on its back as it just comes up out of the ground. As then he quickly tosses it to the left with his bare strength. Okay, as you can tell, Fred has several wounds from being hit and trying to get to Izumi. His shoulders are bleeding. He has blood all over his uniform from how many Nomu he's taken out. You could tell he's a bit tired of fighting all these Nomu, but he has gone through quite a number of them. As we see some police force, move in! Help the special force unit! As they start moving in with firing gun at the Nomu, advancing, as all of them just seeing Fred, the police force has just gotten engaged and more confident as they're moving in. As even the heroes are shocked. What gave them the motivation? As then the head of the police force comes over. That's Fred, one of the special command force, signified to Izumi. one of them can hold on and bring the force together and admire the force to continue fighting. They're like our best of the best, so whenever they're on the battlefield, it inspires the rest of the force. Kind of like how All Might inspires the heroes and all that, and civilians. You could say that, yes. Although I heard most of their force got taken down a while back due to a very strong Nomu. How many are left of the force? We went through the rubble and we found 2 other members still alive. They're currently in a hospital. Their commander was currently found underground. He's in critical condition, but he's being transported to a evac site now. And by the looks of it, Fred is holding up well, but he has some injuries. We're trying to search for Izumi, our council member, very quickly, as we cannot afford to lose her, as she's basically she brings the security force and all that together. This thing wouldn't be possible without her, so our top priority right now is to find Izumi and the evacuation. As we see Mustard, that's about a floor away from the roof, just sitting back and resting, as he is tired from running up all those stairs. And you may ask, why doesn't he use the elevator? Because the police force is not stupid. They installed a system that cuts off all elevator transport in certain areas because the risk of them collapsing during an attack or something. And also for maintenance repairs. As we can see, he's tired, as some villains come over. Sir, where's the rest of the League of Villains? They've currently arrived, sir. Your new evacuation point is in the middle of the arena. Kurogiri will be waiting there. Why can't we get to the roof? Why can't we evacuate there? Because we currently have a problem. And what would that problem be? That, as he gets over to the side, the window that shows outside, as all we see is a massive swarm of helicopters coming this way with Duet's force. You kidding me? They brought a whole air defense system? Not just that. There are dark inkling soldiers all on those things, and they're coming in hot. They'll be here in about 5 minutes. Grab a Nomu. We're just gonna get the fast way there. All the Nomu are currently occupied. There's not one near us. I guess we gotta take the stairs again. As they go to the stairs, as then they hear police force coming up. Why do they have to make this so difficult? Grab Izumi, we're gonna take the other set. But sir, that's halfway across the building. I don't care. This one is compromised. And there's no way we can outnumber that many guards with all the other Nomu and all that currently being used in other areas. So let's go. Yes, sir. As they're carrying Izumi, who's really having a hard time trying to stay conscious. As they make their way over to the other side, we see the heroes fighting a very fierce fight with the security force against the LV who had just shown up. Dabi using his firepower to cut off all forces of the police force, leaving only really All Might and the hero Aizawa Hawks in the area. And we can't forget about Fred. Fred's also fighting there. He's currently dealing with a huge Nomu. Shigaraki's there. Toga's there. Twice is there. Spitter's there. Compress. Kurogiri's there. Gamal. As more police force are coming in, trying to get through the fire, but they cannot. As the head of the police force says, go with plan Firestopper. But sir, the task force should be here for that, right? Yes, sir, they had just arrived. Good, grab them. As then we just see a vehicle pulling up near them. As we see people in fireproof armor just hop out of the vehicle. As one of the Hero Safety Commission guards is wondering, how do you have a plan for this? We deal with all sorts of quirks. We have to have a plan for our police force to take care of them. So of course we have a unit that can withstand fire. As then these heavy armored police force members just start running through the fire, shocking the heroes and the villains that are currently fighting in the middle. As they say, "Open fire!" as they pull out their guns and start firing, cause even more trouble for the villains. As Shigaraki's like, "I'll take care of them myself," as he goes over to try to grab one of them, as the guy closed his eyes because he couldn't react in time, Fred grabs his arm and flips him over. "Nope, I'm not losing another soldier today." As he goes to sock Shigaraki, as he ends up socking himself and sending him flying because of Kurogiri. As the security officer is about to pull out his gun again, but then Dabi uses Fire Quirk to save Shigaraki. As the heroes and them keep on fighting, but it seems like there's an endless amount of Nomu. As we go back to Mustard, who's gotten to that other staircase, and they start moving down. This is very tiring. We need to keep moving, sir. Fine. As he covers the entire floor with his gas, that should buy us time. As they finally get to the trying to get to the middle, as then they hear the helicopters. As we see Duet, who's currently in the helicopter in the middle, open fire on all Nomu you see. As machine guns on a few of the helicopters start firing on the Nomu and the League of Villains. Repeat, all security evacuate the area. We have it from here. As Fred gets up from his position, "I'm not leaving this place," as all the units were falling back. But the fire unit with the heavy armored is staying by his side because what he did in saving one of their men. "We're not leaving you here, sir. You saved one of our own. We owe you." "No problem. I could use some assistance retrieving the council member. They're nearly here. Go to the entrances, block them off. We stop them from entering the area." "Yes, sir." As about 20 of them, in total was the police force with the fire armor, starts heading towards the entrances, while all the other police force was leaving the area, while Duet's force was firing on the League of Villains, and with the heroes not obeying their order, is being caught in the crossfire. Keep firing. As we see the council members off in the distance, all of them. Those heroes are fools. When Duet brings her force in, she goes all out. They stand no chance. Is that what you think, sir? Exactly. After all, Hero Safety Commission villain declared her a villain just because of her military might. That's why she constantly stays out of the country and only arrives in the city because that's the only place she's not declared a villain. I see. But why do they declare her a villain? One, her quirk. You don't know the extent of what she can do with it. In fact, I would say she's the most powerful one in the entire of the Hero Safety out of our group. That would be the strongest. I see. Like what type of methods did she use to defeat the villains that tried to invade here? Just saying, her force is pretty much unstoppable in combat. And if their heavy unit gets here, I'm just saying the League of Villains is not making this out here. Sir, we still have some of our men down there. As one of the guards see that. What do you mean? They're heading toward the entrances. They're probably trying to get out of there. No. They're in midst of firing range of our allies, sir. But they're holding at every entrance, looking for something. Ah, they must plan to evacuate with that Kurogiri person. But why would they? As then Liz just realized. They're waiting for Izumi. Of course, the other villains to arrive so they can escape. I see. As Wolf gets up, I'll go take care of this. As he walks out. Oh, he's gonna have all the fun again. Come on, Falk. You can't just hang around like that and say that. It's true, though. He gets all the excitement and fun. How about this? If Hawks does something and finds out the truth, I'll let you be the one to get rid of him. Also, if they find out Wolf was the one that killed the Hero Safety Commission president, I get to take out Hawks? Yes. That's a deal I can get behind. Well, anyway, I guess I can just sit back and watch. After all, I can't go out there now. With the amount of forces coming in from Duet, I don't stand a chance. I would get caught in the crossfire. You're right. Let's keep on moving, as we need to get out of here as soon as possible. I agree. The Nomu should be making their way here. As we go to Fred, who's waiting at one of the entrances with a few guards, as we see Mustard and Izumi and several other villains arrive. You didn't think I would find you? As his eyes widen, how are you alive? You think being dragged through several amount of concrete, underground with less oxygen, being buried alive would end me? You have another thing coming. And where is my weapon? As one of the guards come in with a grenade launcher. Thank you. Now, I'll give you two options. You either back up and hand over the council member and surrender yourselves now, or I light you all up with this grenade launcher. And when the explosive unit gets here, this whole section of the building will be torn to pieces. You're bluffing. You wouldn't dare shoot at the council member, would you? Who's saying I won't? As he looks him straight in the eye, he quickly uses his gas to try to distract them. Open fire. Remember, use those bullets. Yes, sir. As they start firing certain bullets into the gas, hitting some villains as they just fall over. As Izumi was taken behind some cover with a few other villains and Mustard. What type of ammo are they using? Sir, it seems they're using, as they pick up the ammo, tranquilizers. I gotta give him credit. He wasn't going to risk fire with the council member. He thought outside the box. We'll have to find another exit point. As they try to go to the nearest exit, while Fred and his troops try to follow him. As they turn the corner, Mustard quickly grabs the guard that was holding Izumi and pulls him back. But the other villains got shot up with tranquilizers because there was a unit waiting at that exit. They planned ahead. Do they have every entrance into this in there blocked? As then gunfire is currently hitting the wall, where the guards are falling into the building because of the gunfire outside, due to the helicopters. Why are we getting hit? Duet's forces are currently arriving. They're showing no mercy to the forces outside. We're lucky we're at the entrance, where we won't be hit that much. But it's like a gas cloud out there. I can't see anything. As they got distracted for a moment, that's where Mustard and the remaining of his villains, which is like two, managed to jump the two guards holding the entrance, as they managed to take them out. Come on! But sir, going out there's a death sentence. You see how many bullets are going everywhere? As we go back to Kirigiri and the LV, which we now see that the gunfire has stopped, as all the bullets that were being fired towards the LV are currently being deflected at some of the helicopters in the sky. Evasive maneuvers! The person with the teleportation cord is firing our weaponry back at us. As they're moving around trying to avoid, send in the land units. As then they look over and see one of the helicopters going down. This is helicopter 1, heading down, as it hits the stadium, exploding. Get them here now. Have land units land. Move in. The gunfire stopped. Let's move. As right when he was about to go out with those two henchmen, Fred turns the corner and shoots both the henchmen up with tranquilizers. He turns over, seeing Izumi currently laying unconscious on the floor. and Fred with 2 guards behind him. Where do you think you're going? As both of them are a fair distance from Izumi. As both of them look at each other. As he's about to use his gas cork, someone comes behind and kicks him, sending him flying, and also hitting Fred in the process as they go flying into a wall. You really think I was gonna let you take the council member here? As he walks up to Izumi, as we see it's Wolf, checks her pulse. This isn't good. Get her to the nearest medical tent immediately. I need a medical unit at this location immediately. And also bring her medicine. She's not going to last much longer if she does not have it. She's already in the final stages. If she doesn't get the medical attention now, she might as well die. Yes, sir. The 2 guards grab Izumi and run off. Now to deal with you. As he goes over, as we see both Fred and Mustro currently in a concession stand. Fred is on the popcorn, and Mustro got kicked into the soda machine. As Fred gets up, ugh! What did I get hit by? Oh, that's right, that villain. Wait, as he goes looking for his gun, as he realizes he dropped it when being hit. As he gets up and walks out of what looks to be the back of the concession stand, and sees Mustard, currently stuck in the vending machine. Okay, now to finish you. And suddenly he just falls over. That's enough out of you, soldier. After all, you get any more wounds, you're likely to die. As then we just hear snoring. Okay, apparently I didn't knock him out. Apparently he just fell over. Noted. I didn't know they had someone like this in Izumi's Special Force team. For once, I'm glad he's not on the villain side. As he looks up, as Mustard got away. And that's what I get for laying my eyes off the opponent. As he smells the area. There you are. As he quickly transforms into a full wolf and starts chasing Mustard. As we go back to the yellow V out front, or out in the middle of the stadium. As they've taken heavy damage. As some of them landed. Shigaraki, we need to evacuate now. As all of them look tired. No, we need to finish things. As suddenly, a blade just separates Shigaraki's head from his shoulders, shocking all the LV. As we see its duet. You dare target my sister. As they look over, the LV looks over, as they also see Toga and Twice on the ground, shot up by her team. As it leaves Dobby, Compress, and Spitter, and Kurgiri all there. As All Might is about to go attack Duet, because they see her as a villain. As Gray shows up and stops him. That is a council member. You better not attack her. And you have no restriction to either. As All Might stops. Let's focus on them. But she killed someone. Our area? We've lost several people to these villains. A few of their lives don't matter. As All Might looks at him with anger. Now, be a good hero and arrest the rest of them. As they take down the rest of the League of Villains. Now that's good. Nothing else to worry about. Where's my sister? Wolf had her being taken to a medical tent immediately. Not sure why. We think she might be injured. Lead me there immediately. Yes, ma'am. As they start heading to the medical tent. Those villains. I'll kill the person that took her. Wolf's currently taking care of that. At least I can leave it to him to get the job done. As they arrive at the area where the medical tent is, where Izumi was supposed to be, as they open the door, as they just see the security force meant to guard her slaughtered inside. What happened here? We don't know, sir. There was a team of about 20 guards here. Well, don't just stand there. Find her. What happened? As then they see someone being taken in a stretcher. As they see it's Fred. As he looks over. What happened to him? It's a miracle he's alive, to be honest. He was taken underground, nearly suffocated, got crushed by rocks, tackled a Nomu underground, fought several Nomu in the bottom parts of the stadium, as well was under fire, and was fighting several other villains all at the same time. Well, I admit my sister has some reliable subordinates. Honestly, it's a miracle how he's alive. This man's probably almost died to his own explosions a few times. And just last night, he survived a huge explosion. With several burn marks on him, he's still willing to fight. The only reason he's being taken to be treated now is because he's unconscious. I see. As we go back to Mustard. As we see that he's walking around trying to get away. As then he gets a report on his phone. Task complete. Who completed the task? As we can see, Mustard is visibly injured a lot all over. Who completed the task? Oh no. Don't tell me he came himself. As he just lies down on the ground. Doesn't really have any strength left. As Wolf just towers over him as he had gotten there. Who has her? As he overheard his conversation. As he just throws the phone, as it reveals a name, All for One. As his eyes grow in shock. Where is she? I don't know. All I was told to retrieve her. Apparently that's not my job anymore. And there's no way I'm going back to anywhere else. So if you're gonna end me, go ahead and end me. If that's what you want. As he strikes his hand at claws, as Mustard closes his eyes, as all of a sudden, he throws his claws at him. But instead of piercing his head, it pierces right next to him, and rips off the mask. You're free to go. Just never return. As he's shocked, why are you sparing me? One, Councilmember Izumi made this place just for people with mutations, and you resemble the appearance of the security guards. Just say it's a favor for you keeping her as well as you did. After all, you knew she was in that condition and chose to take the quickest path to try to get her out. And most villains wouldn't try to do this. Try to go to the medical thing to find her medicine. Most villains would have gotten her out immediately. So for instance, you did find her medicine and give it to her, didn't you? So you knew. Of course I knew. After all, I can sense scenes with just the smell. That's how developed my sense of smell is. So you went to the area where I went in to try to steal medicine and saw I got it. And I gave her a dose. Yes. Then why lie saying she was in critical condition in the last stages? One was to get the most immediate medical team here quicker. As that's how things go. When someone's life's really at danger, they happen to work way quicker, you know. You know your allies way too well, don't you? It's a perk being a council member. Well, anyway, I'm letting you off the hook. You're free to go. As he gets up with an injured arm, injured leg, I'm not going back to that league of villains. I guess I can just go live in the mountains or something. As he mumbles to himself while he walks away. Wolf keeps an eye on him. As the security guard comes over. You're just letting him go, sir? Yes. And tell him, give the report that he got away. But sir, the other council members get mad if he finds out. They won't find out. Especially, Izumi will understand. But if Duet finds, this information shall not reach Duet's ears. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Good. After all, he may be a villain, but he at least has some generosity. And after all, he did go toe-to-toe with the Special Force. How many other members are alive? Right now, it seems like 5. 1 was off duty, and the other 2 are currently in critical condition. And 2 more are currently in the hospital from the explosion the other day. And Izumi is currently not in her chambers. She was taken. Yeah, I'm aware. The medical team was wiped out, as well as the security force I gave. Do we know where she is? No. But I do have a hunch. A hunch? As he throws the phone. As he reads it, all for one? As he shakes his head. The heroes don't know everything. So, give this information to Duet. It will be useful. And tell her head to this certain location. Yes, sir. As we go to the medical ward, as we see the commander, which I don't remember giving a name, but I'm just gonna call him Commander, and Fred are sitting next to each other. It's good that you're alive. As he looks over and just Fred, who's still just snoring, like nothing even happened. Of course he's not gonna respond. As Duet comes in, are you in better condition now? As he gets up, a little sore and a couple of wounds. Why? I need your help. As the security guard comes in, we may know Duet's location. Wolf has given us an idea. You're coming with us. Seriously? I'm not fully healed from my wounds, as you can see. Yes, but you're the most experienced officer in the entirety of the security force. We need your strategic material. You'll be away from battle, but you will be in the back lines, giving out strategy and commands. As you're the most one that oversees everything, and your strategies are top-notch. I suppose you're right. As he gets up. Just saying. We're gonna get your sister back alive, don't you worry. I know. I'm not letting her die. Let's go. As he gets up, his arm in a cast, and he walks out with them. As we go to the All for One in his hideout with the doctor, as we see Izumi in a pod. Now, tell us, how is her quark really functioning? Well, it seems like the substance of her quark and her illness has led up to mutation growth within her own body. And apparently all the guards that share similar traits to her, their growth has been transmitted to her instead of them their own selves. Like a cellular transmission. What does that mean? It means that her body is going through evolution, and she's preventing all the other security guards with similar quarks, all of them going through a similar evolution. But doing so is causing her a lot of pain, to where she's been injected with a counter antidote, it seems. An antidote? Yes, it only pushes it off for a time, but it's very helpful. What's this evolution process? I don't know for sure, but she may transform into something like the Kraken, if her cells keep growing at this rate. Interesting. As All for One smirks. Is there a way to control her? I'm not sure. If she was a dead corpse, I could work with that. But the evolution process won't work. She has to be alive. I see. Well, anyway, prepare the evolution process. But, sir, we'll need to hold off for about an hour or two, as the last injection was a little while ago. I see. Have the Nomu and all that guard her. I will, sir. And have security ready. Yes, sir. As he walks out. Now I wonder what type of creatures I could make with your DNA. As he's going through panels, I'm thinking of ideas and all that. As then an alarm goes off. What's that? Sir, the hospital is currently under attack. It's by, one of the council members, Duet, also one of the residing villains in Japan. What? The entire of our force is currently attacking. To gather time. Wait, is there a way to speed up the, process? As he goes back. Inform All for One about this. And release all the Nomu. Yes, sir. There must be a way to increase the process. Some way to counteract the counteraction of the antidote. But what? He's going through ideas. Wait, what about... Of course, the Nomu injection process might work. Yes, that may counteract the cells, and it will also speed up the growth. And it may end up like something like what the Master wants. Alright, as he's going through typing all on the computer. Sir, the front lines have fallen. The villain's Nomu's outside. They're currently entering the building. As we go outside, as we see a whole, like, platoon of forces coming in. Helicopters, cars, and in this case, a full-on ink tank. And who's on top of it? Duet, the leader herself. Go retrieve my sister, men. As they all storm the building, as Nomu just come flying out, pushing them through, as one big Nomu just comes out of the hospital. As Duet says, fire! As they fire the cannon, hitting its head, evaporating it. Reload! As we see the commander off in a distance in a tent. Alright. Guarantee they're not going to hold her in the main floors. They're probably going to have an underground system. So, security forces shall go through the main area. Search for any hidden passages. Break walls, I don't care. And give me a layout of the underground area. Yes, sir. Also, search the surrounding areas in case there might be immediate exits. We cannot risk to lose the council member again. As they all command with a yes, sir, as they move out. Where's the sword team? The sword team is currently en route on a plane. They're about ETA 10 minutes out. Why did they have to be on the other side of the city during the attack? As we go to the sword team, it's about a team of about 5 to 6 inklings with swords. Yeah, it looks like we got a very interesting job. Yes, we do. Haven't seen battle much lately. Sarah, how long has it been since you've stained a villain with your sword? Oh, it's been quite a while. After all, I'm gonna enjoy cutting these Nomus to pieces as we can go all out with the orders we've been given. Of course. Now, men, let's prepare. We'll be there in about 10 minutes. Yes, ma'am. As we go back to the battlefield, as Nomu are currently fighting the police force left and right, as they start to manage pushing a foothold into the building. As All for One is irritated. I guess I'll deal with them myself. As he walks out with several villains, it is pretty much two armies against each other. As they start fighting out in a duel, as Duet is watching. Get ready, aim fire at All for One. As they fire the tank, as he uses an air shield to block the attack. Air cannon, as he fires an air cannon at the tank, as Duet jumps out, as it sends the tank flying back. As we see the tank on its back, but we see the crew manage to survive. and it was only denting the tank and moving it. That was close. As Nomu tries to end Duet, as we see a very familiar face. It was a person that just shot up the Nomu's head. As Duet looks over, it's Fred, who's currently in a full cast of bandages, currently out there on the battlefield. I am not done. Sir, you need to fall back, sir. You're in no condition to fight. I don't care. Hand me some explosives. Hand me a bazooka. I don't care. Hand me grenades. We need to blow them up sky high. As all of them back away, and one of the members that worked with him earlier, with the fire force that went through the fire, brings him a full-on bazooka. Here you go, sir. I love some loyal guards. As he aims the bazooka at All for One, just fires it. As he's not expecting it, because he's focusing on another part of the battlefield, as he gets hit in the back. As he looks over, as he sees a person full in bandages. As everyone just starts opening fire on him. As he uses a shield to protect himself. And he can't focus on a counterattack because of how many bullets and all that are focused on him. You will pay for this. As he's about to do a full-on attack, they just hear a big noise. And the ground starts to shake. What was that? As we go back to Izumi, who's currently in the pod. There it is. The process speed up is in the pod as we just see her start transforming. Yes, it's complete. As then it starts to break the glass. Alright. As he just looks over there. Now what you will do is you will, as then you just get squished by one of the tentacles of Izumi in her kraken form. As she starts breaking through the ground, as she grabs All for One and starts tossing her. As she's in a full berserk mode. As Duet looks at her. No. I knew this was gonna happen. We've only been delaying the inevitable. As Izumi is just currently fighting and hitting everything, as she has no idea what she's doing. As then Duet says, give me a helicopter. Now. As they start running off to grab a helicopter. We need a helicopter on the ground now. As Fred just looks at the destruction and all that. As a tentacle is about to squish them and the forces near him. As all he does is just stand there. As then out of nowhere, a car comes flying and hitting the tentacle away from them. And we see a person jump out. I'm not losing another one more people under my command. As we see it's the commander. Did you seriously drive yourself all the way to the front lines just to save me? Says the person in a full cast. Touché. As we see Duet get on a helicopter, fly up. So in a way, like on a ladder attached to the helicopter. As she yells, Sister! Listen, sister, this is not you. Remember who you are. As Izumi just gets a glimpse. It remembers for a mere few seconds. As then she starts moving towards the sea. As several calls coming over her radio. Should we pursue? No. Let her go. As she just hops into the sea and just dives away. She's at least gained consciousness. As All for One is long since fled. After being hit and all that by Izumi. Where shall we go now, ma'am? Back home, soldiers. Back home. Yes, ma'am. As they'll leave back to their city, and the only thing really damaged in their city was an abandoned area and the stadium. So damages were real less than out there in the heroes area. The heroes in that are all mad at them still and all that, and is demanding for them to shut down the safe zone. And they deny it all, as it was simply attack of All for One that started it. So it's justified in the law that they're not responsible. And technically, and the heroes are getting reprimanded for their stuff in their city. So and all work with heroes have been banned in their city forever now because of what they did and what the Hero Safety Commission was trying to do. As everything ends out plain as the council members meet once again for the final time. This may be our final meeting for a while. Is Duet sitting there, thinking of your sister, I presume? Yes. We currently have no idea where she is, but we knew this was going to happen eventually. I know. Don't worry about it. If anyone's as strong of a person, it's Izumi. I doubt anyone's gonna pick a fight with her now in that form. I know. I'm just worried for her. Listen, Duet. You don't have to worry about her. We're trying to keep monitors on there. Fred and the command force is keeping tabs on her. What? Of course. It's only the commander and Fred and his force. The sword unit is also there as well. Weren't they late arriving to the battlefield? Yeah, but when they did, they slaughtered the rest of the Nomu. Took them out swiftly. Left them in pieces. We took a lot of casualties because of these attacks, so we're shutting down all entry of anyone else into the city. For a while. I understand. But what's the report from Fred and the commander? They said that she's doing well. She stayed away from towns and all that. She's living in a cave in the sea. Their team is currently just keeping monitor. They got an outpost to keep an eye on her. Although there's no signs of her having full control over the beast of herself. But it looks like she's keeping herself at bay from destroying anything. That's good. We know it's going to be hard now that she's gone, but things will turn out well. All for One's been defeated. All Might managed to capture him a while ago, and villains have been taken out. We don't have to worry about anything else. Yeah, I know. As all of them leave, as Wolf approaches her, listen. If it wasn't for you and your sister, I would be dead. I'll say this, you don't have to worry about your sister. I have my own team keeping tabs on her as well. The heroes do anything, I will know. And I will take them out myself. What about that villain you let get away? Mustard. Is he shocked? You didn't think I would know, would you? Don't worry, I respect your decision. It's also what my sister would have wanted. As he sighs, whew, for a moment I thought I was going to get roundhouse kicked into the wall. Oh, that's still going to happen. As he opens his eyes as he gets kicked into a wall. Ow. You can stop whining. That barely hurt you, I know that. As he gets out and just stretches his neck. Of course it did. I can harden my fur, I barely felt it. Yes. But now that she's gone, I can't exactly leave this place anymore. You were trying to make the world a better place. I know that. The whole reason you left. But now that she's gone, we need a new person to watch over the city. And that was your sister's job, as she took it upon herself. Yes. You keep doing what you're doing. I will take responsibility. Is she shocked? After all, you and your sister wanted a place where mutation-type people can coexist with everyone, and they won't be judged. You were working towards that in America and everywhere else. Except here. Your sister was doing her best here to do so. As well as keeping an eye on her own, on this city. I will take up the responsibility of watching this place. After all, I'll be stacking more stuff onto my regular duties, but I can promise you I will keep this place safe. Thank you, Wolf. And just to let you know, you can always visit your sister. She may not be who she once was, but you can go to the monitoring teams and you can check on her. Thank you. No problem. And that is the end of What Female Deku Was an Inkling. I hope y'all enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe.